Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We're listening to some chill synthwave, copyright-free music. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But basically, as you can tell by the title of the video, I wanted to review some of my gameplay. I've been taking improvement very seriously these last couple of days, and I just wanted to get in a lot of volume at 10 and out Blitz. Because I don't think I have like a huge edge or something. I don't even know if I can beat the regs at 50 Blitz or whatever. Yeah, on Blitz on ACR. It was a lot tougher than 10 and 0 was. So, I still think you can just improve a lot just by looking at your gameplay, even if it's not against great opponents. I know for sure that there are a few hands I didn't know the right answer for what to do, so I'm taking this opportunity to look at those hands right now. And I thought it would just be an opportunity for you guys to either chime in if you have, some advice for how to play hands better, or, you can learn from what I have to say. Very quick disclaimer. The reason I haven't been active on this channel lately is because, I'll just call it what it is, because of depression, and I've been dealing with that in a kind of untraditional method with diet and everything, and like different changes. So that's why I got a lot worse at poker than I was like 2 months ago when I was making all those videos and I was like crushing. I think I was probably running better. I'm definitely not running great right now, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anyone cares or whatever, but I just wanted to put it out there. It's like I didn't just get worse because I was never good. I got worse because poker took a backseat priority in my life. So hopefully all the depression and stuff is going to be sorted out very quickly. It's getting better, but I just wanted to say that I never claimed to be the best poker player in the world, but I just feel kind of obligated to let my subscribers know that I've been working on other things, even if working on in a not super literal sense, and that has been mental health issues. So that's been getting better. So I've been kind of shifting back into poker, and this is why I'm making this video. So. No matter who you are, if you take a lot of time off of your craft, you're going to get a lot worse, and it takes effort to get back into it. So, end of my rambling, and let's look at some hands. Actually, I just have to double check that you guys can see this okay. Yeah, that should be fine. So, I don't have any hands marked. I'm just going to be going through hands as they come up. I think 6-4 suited is a totally fine hand to complete with for, what was it, like 1.2 big blinds or something. Unfortunately it's cut off, but maybe 1.8 big blinds. I can't quite tell. But suited connector. I was watching Bluff the Spot, and he had a similar spot as this. He had 5-7 of spades, or the person he was analyzing had 5-7 of spades. He said the same thing that I said, so completing is totally fine here. You have the potential to flop a big hand for a very good price. We do flop 2 pair, but we're not thrilled about it. But again, this is one of those hands where I just kind of played through it really quickly, and I didn't think it through. Maybe because I was messing with this recording, and I was trying to make sure I got the recording. That's probably why I'm not actually looking at these tables in the video. I think an argument could be made for leading out here. Someone named Mucket Hard with the Bulldog avatar, no hands with him. It really seems like they're probably not a reg, and I think they raised really small on the button. I would be willing to bet that they're not a reg. Although now that I'm saying it out loud, Condor's range is usually when people flat from the small blind, their range really often consists of like sevens. Let's just say 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s. That's a really common range to flat from the small blind. And I bet if you watch this video, you do that too. But and I'm not saying it's necessarily bad in certain lineups, but that's a very strong, or not strong, but common strategy. So anyway, should I be leading? I think leading out is fine. You kind of find out really quickly, like, if you're good or not. I don't think, again, I think this Muck It Hard guy is probably not a good reg. I mean, he's definitely not a reg. He's probably not good. And we'll occasionally do this with a queen. Not often, but, you know, we might. I think we're pretty much just saying we have a 6 when we do this, but I think that might be a better risk compared to, say, just checking and then, like, you know, all these other worse cards come on the turn and river and you're just forced to fold. Whereas, like, now I think it's okay to just kind of play our hand a little bit face up. I think it's actually fine. People at these stakes don't really make that many plays. Condor could definitely have us beat, but I think our hand is probably pretty good here. Muck goes half pot, and then there's a call. I mean, Muck's range is completely undefined, other than he probably doesn't have a queen, because you shouldn't value bet that big if you do have a queen. You want callers, in my opinion at least. And then I still put Condor on those hands that I talked about: 3s, 4s, 5s, maybe 6s, 7s, 8s. Yeah, I think he's got those ranges, but I think I was looking at my stream, and while I'm saying all this, I do want to make sure that my voice is getting picked up. Okay, it looks good. I wasn't thinking, so this is like my first hand trying to comprehend what's going on. I'm pretty sure I was configuring the stream or something. I don't know what I was doing. But I am not paying attention to this to the game, so I think I'm just gonna fold this one. So we're just gonna, yeah. I think 6-10 suited is an okay open on the button. I don't actually know if it's good, but this guy is probably like a fish. Again, if I see someone brand new on the site on Saturday night, they also loaded up for 120 big blinds, which doesn't necessarily make them a fish, because I used to do that too. And I don't know, just like the name with tuition fees, I just assume this guy's a fish. It's not worth overthinking, but I don't think this is a horrible raise. And then this guy has a 75 fold to steal, so I think it's fine. It'll play decent post flop, I think. Okay, that's actually like a pretty reggy sizing. So maybe he's not a fish, you know. But definitely folding to a 3-bet of that size, no doubt about it. The reason I was hesitating here, because I don't know if ace-7 offsuit is a call from the big blind for 1.5 big blinds. I simply don't know the answer to that. I have been calling it, but it doesn't seem like I'm like winning or losing or anything. I think it's fine to call or fold, but with my understanding of Rake, and this is like heavily influenced by the video I just watched from Bluff the Spot, but he kept saying like, you don't want to play these mediocre hands because of Rake, it'll just really kill you. So, you know, I'm conflicted. I don't know the right answer. I think in general I'll call in this spot, but I think I folded today because these thoughts were going through my head and I didn't know what to do. Same thing with 4-5 suited under the gun, probably a fold. You could probably make an argument for opening it, but I guess you can use the same argument I just talked about, which is if you are paying high rake for that ace-7 hand, you probably don't want to play hands with like low positive, even if it is plus EV. You don't want to play a bunch of hands that aren't super plus EV, because you're going to be paying a lot of rake for hands that like barely make you money, if at all. I know 5-6 suited, for example, is a raise in the low jack according to the upswing 6 max opening, but that's why I think if it's not great, it can't be terrible by any means. We're gonna load up some more tables here. Opening Jack 10 suited under low Jack, definitely do that. Also going to be 3-betting Ace Queen suited against Condor. Condor is one of the more aggressive players. That's why in my color coding, orange just means that they're probably super aggressive, willing to do crazy stuff. And Condor definitely fits in that. He's always 3-betting and 4-betting us. Which, I mean, the reason I'm telling you all this is because it means that he's got a 20% open. So, Ace Queen suited is a definitely profitable 3-bet there. I don't remember what I did. I think I checked back here because this doesn't hit our range very hard. And we can turn a lot of really good cards. We can turn an ace of hearts, you know, any ace, any 9, 10, jack, queen, and if any of those are hearts, it's way better. It's way better to just check and try to get to the turn and like see, realize some of our equity than, you know, just c-betting and hoping he folds. I don't think that, I really hope I don't c-bet this. Yeah, I think that's definitely the play. So we do decide to represent this, I'm pretty sure, with a small bet, which, I'm trying to think, I don't know how good this play is. Well, I can tell you what I was thinking, which was, I'm just going to try to represent this with a small bet, and just bluff at it for cheap. But I don't know how good, again, I don't know how good that play is. This guy isn't ultra aggressive, but it's possible that my bet was so weak. And again, even if I do have something like ace queen here, and I do this like really small bet, it just looks really weak to me. So it's like, if you're going to make this bet, you should probably have top set or something. So if I got bluffed here, I wouldn't be surprised because it's a pretty weak bet, unless I'm missing something. But that, yeah, you know, I just kind of did it, not thinking too much. I just said, you know, I'm just going to represent this ace and try to get random weak hands to fold. I don't like my play in hindsight. I would either bet bigger or don't bet at all. Based on this player type, he just seems like a normal 10-0 player, which means, you know, you can probably bluff him, but I don't know. I think it's fine to just like check back. You have to have some hands that you check back. You can't just always rep the ace, I guess. So I think it's fine to just check back and give up on this hand. And then, yeah, and then if I'm going to barrel, then, or not barrel, but if I'm going to bluff, then it should be on a heart or a 9 or a queen or a king or something. Or not a king, but a 9 or a queen, and especially hearts. Because then I can call check raises, but here I just have to fold. I'm going to raise queen jack offsuit on the button. We could raise ace 8 suited. It wouldn't be a bad play because it's just a value raise. Like, people don't, you know, generally, what are you worried about? Like, the only thing you're worried about is like a better ace and like reverse implied odds or something. But people don't really, they limp ace 9, like these fish, they limp ace 9, but they don't really limp like ace 10, ace jack, ace queen, ace king. So you can just represent all, you know, Broadway cards by raising, and then sometimes you hit. And you can just c-bet them out of a lot of flops, but, and also just squeeze them out with a raise pre-flop. But I think checking is fine too. If I check this, I don't remember my logic. I think this is something that I think you should generally be betting. You've got the jack of, or I've got the jack of spades. I can easily rep the ace, and the goal of this is just to fold out like king 7 of hearts. I guess 3 4 4 5. I guess you're not folding out 5 7. So that's why I did that, was so I can just like, I guess Now that I'm reviewing my hands, maybe I have a habit of doing these little doinky bets too often on connected boards, because now that I'm saying these hands out loud, he's got 5-7, 6-7, 7-8, 8-9. Like, none of these are folding for those really small bets. And I was just kind of hoping I'd get a fold. I guess you're getting folds out of 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s as well, but there's also just a ton of his range that he's never folding for that small of a bet. So I do need to, take more seriously the bet sizing, I think. I think it's fine if I have like Queen Jack of Spades to do that, but I don't like that sizing with this hand, to be honest. So now that I've got an open ender to the nuts, and he called, I think I bet. No, I don't bet, which is, I like that, because he could easily have something like 9-10 and check raise us. Yeah, we're doing fine against like 6x, but he's never folding those either, and I don't think we have enough equity to bluff, semi-bluff, and just like think we'll get there a lot of the time. I think we have to check back and just hope we hit like a pair or a straight. And we hit the nuts on the river pretty good. And we also have this 8's full in a check down pot. This guy is loose passive. So I think betting something like 1 big blind might be ideal here. But you can also make the argument that if he's going to call 1 big blind, maybe he'll call more than 1 big blind because it's so cheap. So I think I sized up. Just try to make it look like a bluff. It's like, I don't think there's a huge difference between the times you get called by ace high just from a fish between 1 big blind and 4 big blinds. And maybe that's flawed logic, but that is the logic that went through my head. So I overbet. But, in reality, loose passive fish aren't really used to these overbet on the river. So in hindsight, I think I'd rather just try to get value by betting 1 or 1.2 big blinds, something like that. If I was playing a reg, I think overbetting is a lot better. So now he bets pot into the nuts. So in my mind, I'm thinking he has like ideally a set or 7-8, but I think something like 9-10 is a lot more likely. And I can say this now because I know he folds to my river raise. So I think in this spot, what I need to do is slow down and actually analyze the hands he has. Pocket sixes, probably raising the flop. Not necessarily, but probably. Pocket nines are 3-betting. Ace 10, definitely in his range. 9-10, definitely in his range. 7-8, definitely in his range. But I think there's also just a lot of like King 9, 6-10 maybe. 9-10 seems like a very likely candidate. But at the end of the day, his range actually seems like pretty narrow. Like, what can you bet a pot size bet with on this board? So I just kind of, now that I'm saying it out loud again, I don't really know what he could be playing with. I think 2 pairs is his most likely candidate. Like ace 10, 9-10, 6-10. Ace king you were to 3-bet, so I think he has a lot of bluffs in his range, to be honest. So when he bets pot, I think I was just hoping he had 7-8 because there's just not that much else in his range. So it comes down to the decision of, does he have 7-8 or does he have 2 pair, or is he bluffing? And I think bluffs are pretty likely. But I think maybe a click back is in order. Just a click back, try to get called by 2 pair. because this is a spot that no one bluffs at these stakes ever. Yeah, it just wouldn't be a spot people bluff in. So I'm pretty sure he folds fairly quickly, but he does think for a minute, so it makes me think that maybe he did have two pair. I don't know if he can fold his set here, so it makes me think that maybe he had you know, like something like 9-10. So, you know, looking back at this hand, what do I feel like I learned? His value hands are a lot more likely to be two pair that can only call like a min raise, because again, just like no one really bluffs in that spot. My range is so strong. So yeah, that's my analysis. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's right. I was trying to, I didn't know what to do in this spot. I raised queen jack in the hijack, which I think is totally fine open. But I do check the board because I don't really know much about the guy. He doesn't seem too aggressive, but maybe that's not true. I think I need to look at his stats, but I really wasn't sure what to do here. But then he ends up betting very big, and that's something I really don't know what to do with, because I feel like my range, I think my range is really unbalanced actually, because I think I'm always betting my sets and my like king 10 of clubs here, so it's like really hard to be strong here, because again, no one does that at these stakes. No one like check raises to balance their range, their checking range, and for that reason, you know, this kind of play from him is very strong. But, you know, maybe that's looking too much into it right now. Maybe we just need to ask ourselves, like, is he doing this with an ace? And I think the answer is yes. Is he doing this with, like, king 10 of clubs? Yeah, probably. But, again, I need to look at his stats. In all honesty, I just never thought I'd see this kind of bet. A 3/4, or, like, you know, about 3/4 bet into the pre-flop raiser is just very strange, in my opinion. I didn't know what to make of that. It looks like I didn't get a look at his stats, so the world may never know. Here, I think we have two weird hands that go on here. Yeah, we do. So we've got top pair and a flush draw against someone who's loose passive, but also has a tendency for 3-betting, it looks like. So he bets the turn for 1 big blind, which is like, at this point I think I'm just like nutted, so I don't want to scare him away by raising for value. I want to let him like bluff with like jack 10 or 9-10 or something, because I think I've just got this board crushed. So we're just going to call. And then we see a massive bet on the river for pot, which means he might have something like quads. He might have eights full. He might have ace queen or king queen that's like very confident in their hand. These are all possibilities. So I think it's like kind of hard to call you know, with just a weak queen. I don't know. I don't think it's like super profitable to be calling a pot size bet. I think he could easily have eights full, 6x, and just check back on the flop. I think that's pretty darn likely. Also, like, there aren't that many bluffs that he would be doing this with. Like 7-9 gets there. Jack 9 gets there. 5-7 misses, but like there's just so many more value hands that I think we just have to fold. And if we take a quick look at his stats, he hasn't shown the propensity to be ultra aggressive post flop, so given those factors, we're just gonna fold. Here we're gonna suck out on kings with ace king. Feels good, man. Someone with a 32 VP, and a 3 4-bet percent and a 9 open rate. I didn't mind getting it in. Honestly, I didn't want to. I wasn't thrilled about the idea of getting it in. I was kind of just hoping he'd call or fold, but that's pretty stupid. I think I just had ace king, and I just, without thinking, I just 3-bet because it's ace king and he's like kind of short stacked. Maybe I should just call this because yeah, I think he hasn't shown the, again, to just use that word, propensity to, like if he had like a 6-4 bet, then you should be excited to get it in with ace king. But with someone with a 3-4 bet, that's pretty balanced, so pretty normal. So I don't know how much I like my play of 3-betting ace king here. Yeah, I don't think I should be 3-betting ace king here. I think I should just be flatting. So then he makes it 3x, which is pretty huge. And now I'm kind of at this point where I have to like play for stacks, and I guess actually, now that I say it out loud, I remember my thought process, which was people like to open jacks specifically really big because they don't want callers from undefined hands, which I understand their logic, but it's still really bad. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, this guy probably has jacks or 10s because this is how people play those hands, and they open for 3.5 big blinds. Like, I've seen that so many times. So then I'm thinking, well, he's got a decent 4-bet percent, and this is some people don't really do that with like aces and kings generally, but I ended up being wrong because he did have kings, so we got it in and won both runouts with the worst hand. And then this one was weird. On top, he bet big on the flop. Now he's betting big on the turn. I think so. Yeah, he bet 3/4 on the flop. And now he's betting 8 big blinds on the turn. Just trying to get to this. So I did not know what to do here either. And this is why I'm reviewing, because I have to think about these things. So I'm trying to think of what hand. So this guy he's not a barreler. He will 3-bet, but he's not aggressive post flop, which makes me give him a lot of credit. He could easily have something like a full house right here, but he could also just have. I was hoping he had like a worse flush draw or like an ace that I might be chopping with, or that I might be able to suck out on. But I don't think those are very good reasons to be calling the turn. I think, or maybe straights are in his range as well, king queen. But once again, saying this out loud, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to be calling here, because you might already be dead. Oops, sorry about that. I might already be dead by playing this this hand. So if I call, I don't think it's a good call, but I do call. I think I'm trying to process this other hand as well, so I wasn't quite on the ball. Yeah, this I don't think I was getting a good price on the turn to continue, given that the board was already paired. So I think I just need to be folding that turn. And then when he bets the river, his line is very strong, and we're just never good here, I think. And then we're gonna suck out both of them with ace king versus kings. So we see that he's not like a big barreler. He doesn't barrel that much. It's possible we got bluffed and he just ran a triple barrel, but yeah. We shouldn't be calling the turn. Just should not be calling the turn. It wasn't a good price, and we could have already been dead. A7 is definitely a fold for 3.5 big blinds. Here I was considering 3-betting, but both of these guys are short stacked. And this guy looks a little bit... No, I mean, he doesn't look loose enough for this to justify trying to get it in. We're hoping for a flip at best. This guy's also short stacked. I have no problem 4-betting him because he 3-bets from the button a lot. I just know him. But Ashter doesn't seem crazy enough to justify 4-betting with ace-jack trying to get it in. 40 big blind's just not worth it, so it's just a fold. Even though you hate to fold a suited, royal draw. Just going to be folding these junk hands. Here, okay, 9-10, we just check back. I think that's good. We don't... If we had a flush draw or something, maybe we can try to represent something, but if you just have 9-10 suit of hearts on this board, I think you just let it go. Like, you just let the hand go. Don't try to overplay it. Here we have 8s against a guy we don't know much about, but in the blinds, people tend to overplay hands. And so I was considering calling. I was considering raising here. And I decided on raising because our range is actually pretty protected by this board. So we're raising because we don't want to see a Broadway card pop up, an ace, king, queen, jack, 10, even a 9. Like, we don't want to see any of those cards pop up. And our range is protected. We could easily have pocket 3s, pocket 4s, pocket 6s, 5-7, something like that. We have all of these like really strong hands in our range. So if he starts 3-betting us, like, it just doesn't seem likely because we have a pretty strong range right now. And for that reason, I just want to raise and try to get him out. I just don't want to see big cards. Jack is fine. Jack is not likely. I don't give someone credit for like pocket jacks. If they have pocket jacks, they're probably going to check raise it and we'll just be done with the hand anyway. But I think it's more likely he has like ace, king, ace of diamonds. I don't know. I don't know what he would have. He could even have his strongest pocket 9s and we're bluffing with the we're bluffing and we're behind. But he could have ace 4, ace of diamonds. Like, I just don't... all I'm saying is I'm willing to bet that we're ahead and our range is protected so we can kind of fire away. And, we don't have to, like, face this hand or play this hand without the betting lead as well. We can also fold out maybe pocket 7s, get rid of that equity, but I think we're just, almost always ahead here. And that's why I was willing to do that. So here I decided to bet 3/4 on the turn because I think if you have any piece of this flop, you're probably betting. And not that it's super relevant, but I do have a king, which makes there's like a few less combos of like king, queen, ace, queen, or ace, king, which obviously he's just never not betting those on the flop unless he's trapping. But, well, king, queen, yeah, I don't know. It just seems very unlikely that someone who c-bets a lot would be checking back a hand as strong as like ace x. So like ace king is blocked, king queen is blocked. Plus I just don't think he's checking back strong hands. And we can easily have ace 10 here and just be going for value. So I don't mind a slightly larger bet here. We can, I mean, sometime, I don't know, we don't have the king of spades, but if we had like the king of spades, we can also represent king 10 of spades, king jack of spades, I guess. So I thought it was a fine hand to bluff. We get 3-bet here. I might have called it. Oh, wait, no, I didn't call because the sizing was so bad. This is very bad 3-bet sizing from Kampa. Because you're never getting value if you have aces. You are, what is that, 5? So you're 5xing. Maybe that's not as bad of sizing. I don't know. I just, it's just, in my opinion, I just thought it was too big. to justify a call, but maybe not. Maybe 5x isn't horrible, but I think for whatever reason 4x is standard raise size. I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around how to justify it. I guess because we're so, we're, about 150 bigs deep, maybe 5x is fine. I think calling or folding is fine. I think you can justify a call. But I did end up folding. So I don't think calling with Jack 10 suited in position is necessarily that bad there. Just fold 6-3 off. So definitely raise up ace queen. I think this is, probably a raise. But I am not positive. I think this was a weird hand too. I think J-Dub bet big into us. Here we get a really good price with 5-3 suited. And we just flop the joint, so that's pretty sick. 6-7 suited, that's a good raise. Here we kind of range bet, which I think people... Okay, well, now that I'm looking at his stats, he has a 20% fold to flop c-bet, so maybe that bet sizing wasn't great. I think if I'm going to do that bet sizing, I need to follow it up with a really big, meaty bet on the turn to get rid of... Well, I guess I need to think about this. Is he never folding a king, obviously, but he's 3-betting all of his good kings. So... King Queen is in his range. He could be slow playing that, but it seems unlikely. I have all pocket kings, pocket queens, ace king, aces. So I think if I'm gonna, so here's the reason I bet small was because I was just hoping that I can just represent this board. People don't think about it too much; they just fold their junk, but. And maybe that's true. Maybe he does fold all of his junk, but yeah, I think you know what, now that I'm saying that, I think it's fine because I don't want to be turning my queen into a bluff. So maybe I should just check back. I think no, because I'm in a 3-way pot. I think checking or betting small is fine, but betting small makes it a lot more complicated, whereas checking, you save your money and you can get to showdown for cheaper. So I think checking is probably the better play. On the right here, I'm considering raising, I think. We know nothing about this guy. He's a brand new player. I'm considering raising, considering what is his range, considering what turn cards make me happy, sad. What do I do on certain turns? You're really happy to see the ace. If he has ace king, but it felt like he had something like jacks, queens, tens, probably not kings, but it felt like he had jacks or something. So to be honest, I was a little not happy about the ace. I was a little not happy about the ace, but there's a chance he has ace king and he just gets there, but he ends up checking. So, we just go really small because at this point we think he has an overpair that can't really handle too much pressure, especially after seeing an ace. Obviously, if he had pocket tens, that would be ideal. And we have slightly over a pot size bet left, but so here's my thinking is I was thinking, well, I should just bet pot because that's what people do when I watch good players, but that is not the right justification. You have to think for yourself, and in reality, you have to test your own theories, and in reality, I think he has something like pocket jacks, and I don't think pocket jacks can call a 70 whatever big blind bet on this board. So I got greedy and I just went all in. Greedy or lazy, one of the two. When in reality, I think we need to go for value with 25 big blinds and try to get called by jacks. 20 big blinds, try to get called by jacks. And that's what I thought in the hand, but I think I was just going too fast to... well, I was playing a lot of hands, and also just got lazy. I just did it out of laziness, hoping, well, I hope he'll call because I go all in. Make it look like a bluff or something, like just like some stupid reason, but... yeah, I was running out of time, and that's kind of just why I did it. So, in reality, I don't think he has a hand that can call this bet. I think he just has something like jacks or queens, maybe nines. He does think for a while, which makes us happy. You know, maybe he's folding jacks here, and we just gave him too bad of a price. I mean, there are certainly a lot of bluffs we could have, but he's not thinking on that level, dude. Like, these guys are not thinking about that. They're thinking about, like, is this a good price for my jacks? That's what they're thinking. Alright, I think I'm going to call it. Yeah, this is a 40-minute video already. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.